Okay, so we're making a video today and we're talking all about physical products, branding, and all that sort of good stuff. I'm sat here with my stupid plaque behind me that proves that I've grown a YouTube channel. This is proven that I have 100,000 subscribers on the channel, but that's got nothing to do with what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about Mr. Beast and physical products because if you're at, people watching this have definitely seen Mr. Beast because you'll have clicked on this video to watch it because there is a picture of Mr. Beast on the thumbnail.
Mhm.
He has obviously a massive YouTube channel with tens of millions of subscribers, probably hundreds actually. And he's just launched in the last year or two his Beastables physical product brand line, which is like chocolate bars and things like that. So we kind of like wanted to break down why he's done this and look at it from a branding perspective, and then also relate that to a small YouTube channel to show how you can offer physical products to your audience. Because I think a lot of people who have a YouTube channel, maybe not as big as Mr. Beast, nobody's as big as Mr. Beast really, have an audience of people. They maybe want to launch a product to their audience, or maybe they want to give them more value, or they want to unlock a new income stream, but they literally have no idea what to offer them. And they don't want to offer them something random either. So we're kind of like in this boat, like, well, let's break down some creators. Let's go and have a look at some other people's YouTube channels and see if we can almost like build them a product on a YouTube video and show them what potentially they could offer for their audience. So where do you want to go with this, Pete? Where do you want to start? We're doing this off the cuff.
Yep.
I mean, I guess it's probably worth just opening up Mr. Beast's thing first, and I'm looking at that.
That's exactly what I was going to suggest. Off the cuff, we'll open up his page. We'll have a look. We'll see what products he has, and then we'll start thinking about what'd be possible for another channel. So I am just going to share my screen. Now, Alex, Mr. Beast's landing page for his shop.
Whoa, that's hectic.
There's a lot going on.
Apparently, Nolan won something.
Yeah, fair play to Nolan.
Fair play, Nolan. So this is Mr. Beast's store. I guess you can buy all sorts of chocolate bars and merch. And I don't know what else he's. Well, go on his chocolate bars. Let's look at his chocolate bars.
Well, actually, I don't think his chocolate bars are actually on this channel. So this is the Beast line, whereas the chocolate line is a separate store completely. What I've discovered. I'm actually going to click on all so we can see all the products they're selling.
On their way. So he's obviously been selling these around the Super Bowl. It's just been happening. And there was a basketball, which is pretty cool. Unreal. Kids' clothing's merch. I mean, Mr. Beast logo is so prominent now in it. Even the word Beast.
That's the whole point of it. Like a lot of his stuff on his channel, on his shop, is merch, which is likely to raise awareness.
I mean, merch is like, I would say merch is probably the first stop for any creator. Like I think it's the easiest low hanging fruit. Like creating a physical product for your audience can be, I would probably say, a little bit more complex. There's probably a little bit more thought that goes into it. However, the branding and longevity of that, I would argue, is probably better than merch. But having said that, I feel every single creator on YouTube or every single creator online should have a line of merch or at least something to help them spread their own message. Because essentially that's what it is, isn't it? You're literally allowing people to become part of your brand, but then they're wearing your branding and they're essentially working for you then. Like they're literally like little mini marketing people. But obviously they've bought into your brand. They love the clothing you bought, that you've made. They love the style of it, and they feel like they want to wear it. Again, that's my take on it anyway. Like when I'm buying clothing, like I've bought clothing off people who have grown successful brands in the past, and it's not necessarily because I want to buy a hoodie or I want to buy a top. It's because I want to buy into the creator's brand and their idea and their vision because it resonates with me. And I'll give you an example. I bought some hoodies off a company called Dreamland, and I think they're about £150 per hoodie, which I never spend that much on clothes. I mean, look at me. I'm hardly a fashion icon. Yeah, I spent £300 on hoodies. Yeah, £300 on hoodies. And it was because I actually love the branding and the style, and obviously the quality was like insane, really good quality stuff. But yeah, that's where I would start with things. Like for me, I know in the past we've kind of been like, when we've been working with or looking to work with creators, we've been a bit, should we help them create merch stores? Should we help them create a brand of a line of merch, their audience, like wearable merch? And we've always wanted to go on the physical products route, like actual physical things, because that's what our knowledge and background is. But I still think like merchandise is a really good shout for some people.
100%. I think where some people go wrong in merch, they're like, they don't really just think, oh, I'll just stick my logo on something and that's it, done. I think like launching anything or doing anything, you really have to think about, you know, how does this relate to my audience? Will my audience want this? Does it, like, you know, convey my message? I think if you get all that right, merch is a really good win. But
Yeah.
just don't do what everyone does and just say, I'm going to stick my logo on everything. You know, think about it. It's an experience. You were telling me, Alex, when you got the hoodies, like just even opening the box.
Yeah. So like, it wasn't that fancy, but if you compare it to some of the other stuff that I've bought in the past, it was quite a cool experience. Like it came in this really nice bag. The smell when I opened the bag of the actual fresh clothes was really cool. Putting on the hoodie for the first time is like the best feeling ever.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if it's proper organic cotton. Really did enjoy that. It was more of just an experience than buying a hoodie. And I guess that's why people buy into brands like Mr. Beast. Like it's not because I would argue it's probably not because they want another t-shirt or another hoodie or another sweatshirt or whatever. It's because they're bought into Mr. Beast himself and the Beast brand. And they want to be part of that tribe. So I think that's really, really powerful. Because essentially, as YouTubers and creators, if you're a creator online and or a YouTuber, you have an audience of people, you have a tribe, you have a bunch of people following you because they love something about what you're doing, whether it's the content you put out, your style, your personality, what you stand for, your values, anything like that. And I feel people basically put their hand up and say, I want to be part of that movement. So I will buy whatever product this person puts out, or I will support whatever this person puts out, whether that's through, it could be something digital, it could be a physical product, merchandise, anything. But that's essentially what branding is, the power of branding. And I mean, actually, it's funny we're talking about this now because I've actually got one of my products in my hand right here, which nobody will know what this is.
You won't know what that is, Alex, from the video.
But in a nutshell, I have a mountain bike audience of like a few 100,000 people. And this is a mountain bike product for the people who follow me on YouTube and on social media, which we're actually just in the middle of launching right now, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just a prime example there of me kind of creating something that my audience will be interested in. Now, with this, it's quite actually funny, really, because I haven't actually asked them, like, what do you want or anything. I've just kind of gone out and me and a friend have gone out and made this. But at the same time, I know we're fulfilling something that isn't available right now. There's not a product like this on the market anywhere, which I guess you could ask the question, well, if there's not a product like that on the market anywhere, why is that? But I know there's a need for this thing in my hand right here. Maybe you'll learn more about that in a future video, but that's just an example. Like this is us going through the process as well. So we have 2 products right now, which we're launching to the audience that have made up this plaque of people. And again, they're both mountain bike products, which we're super excited about. And I think we're really excited about more of the opportunities for creators and YouTubers for unlocking new streams of revenue. Because I think we've talked about this before, right? As a creator or someone who creates content for a living, that's what you want to be focusing on. You don't want to be focusing on all the other stuff to make an income or to be having to do a side hustle job so you can create content when you've got spare time. You want to be focused on creating content for as much as the time you can, or building a team around that. So we kind of had this idea of like, well, what about if we start talking more about the physical product side of a creator business and how those 2 pieces connect together kind of organically, like building a product that is like something that you as a creator would use, but also your audience would use as well and would love. And there's just like a perfect match that a lot of YouTubers and creators seem to be missing a beat on. I don't know if it's, I mean, what have we talked about this before? Why do you think creators aren't already doing this?
There's a few things. I think number one, the fact is that there's a skill to actually launching a product. Like it's not something that, we've been doing this for years, so we know how to launch products. But like, if you weren't doing that, there's a big barrier there. There's a big barrier. Even if you're getting it manufactured abroad, or you have to get it shipped, or you have to get quality control, barcodes. Like, there's a lot to it that way. And that, like, look, it's simple when you know what to do, but if you don't know what to do, it can be quite daunting. So I think that's one thing. I think one of the biggest things we find is creators are like, I do not know what to sell to my audience. I think that's probably that there is the biggest barrier we find to creators actually thinking, hold on a minute, I can launch a product, because they're like, I just don't know what they want. I don't get it. And that, I find, is something that we want to really help creators overcome, because we believe there's virtually a product for every audience that's a fit for the creator, but also a fit for the audience.
But even if it was merchandise, going back to wearable, it doesn't even have to be wearable. Merchandise in general. So essentially, this is putting your brand on a piece of merch, clothing, or a mug or something like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be like that. There's so many different things you could brand as your own, but no creator on YouTube, every creator on YouTube should have something like that. And I'm sorry now thinking the same thing. Like, I actually don't have a line of merch right now.
I was going to ask you, just to say,
Yeah,
you don't have merch.
I know, but I should have it.
I think, Alex, as well, like, we were just looking at Mr. Beast's page there. Like, obviously Mr. Beast is very well established. He's got a very large following. So his merch store, his online store, it's vast, right? Like, for the vast majority of creators that be watching this video, like, you guys, you might only need to start with one product or two product. Like it's simple. That's what we find. Like, it starts small and grow it from there. Learn with a small product, get success, get wins, and then increase that to the point where, it actually becomes a nice wee revenue earner for your business, but also it actually serves a purpose for your audience, where they're like, I can really relate to this creator. So definitely don't be daunted by the fact there's like hundreds of product lines here. Like, see what Alex is doing. Like, he's launching, like, initially one product, then two products, but it's not like, I need to launch 100 products now today. Like, you don't.
No, you always just start with one. Like, I think a lot of people will try and think they need to start with multiple products, but you just literally need to start with one. Whether it's, I don't know, an actual physical product like we've got right here, or the other product, which we'll discuss what in future videos, or a piece of merchandise, whether it's wearable or usable, like 100%. And for creators, it's literally just a piece of free advertising, free marketing. But it's also, as well as that, I think the more important point is actually solidifying the relationship between the creator and the audience, which is massive. And that's how it's hard to wrap your head around how strong that connection is with these bigger brands like Mr. Beast, like Nike, like Adidas, like Cliff Bar, like anything, any big brand that has such like power, like Apple. Apple don't need to do any paid advertising whatsoever or anything. They launch a new product and they have such loyalty and trust with their previous buyers or audience. People will just buy straight away without even thinking. And this, again, I guess this is not just all about making loads and loads and loads of money off people, but that's a byproduct of building a relationship and trust with your audience, right?
Yep, 100%. You're actually enhancing that. You're enhancing that relationship. It's funny, right? If you want to think about it, and just as you were saying there, like, the reality is, why is it do brands want to work with influencers and creators? Why do they want to do that? Why do you think big brands want to do it? They want to do that in order to get the creator to put their product in front of their audience, as in the creator's audience, because that relationship is so powerful. And that's why, that's why the opportunity for creators, and that's why Mr. Beast and the like are actually tapping into it, is because they're actually using that relationship to create something that wins for everyone. Whereas when you put a brand product in front of your audience, obviously there could be a good fit, but the fit is always going to be better if it's actually a product or something that's coming from you, growing from within the community.
Yeah, and I guess it's yeah. I mean, I guess this is more for people who see their content creation as more of a business, not just like a hobby they do on the side. I mean, it obviously can work for both sides, but I think if you're looking to create an actual business out of content creation and like sharing what you love doing, you have to start thinking about this and launching products and looking at different ways you can bring in income because relying off AdSense and relying off brand partnerships alone, I don't personally think is the most sustainable way to do it. Whereas having your own line of products in line with all these other things, it's like an and strategy as well. It's not a this or that, it's an and strategy. So you can do all these in line. So yeah, that's kind of like where we're at with things. And
100%.
I think in the next few videos, we are going to break down more channels on YouTube. I think we're going to pick some random channels, right? And we're just going to see if we can pick a product for them that theoretically they could offer to their audience. Who knows? We'll see where it goes.
100%. I just want to debunk that there's no product for my audience. I want to debunk that. And the only way I feel we can do that to the best of our ability to show that is just to randomly pick channels. Just pick channels. We'll find them live. We'll go into the channel. We'll actually look at some of the videos and we'll say, hold on, okay, what can we do here? And start to get brainstorming the ideas. And then, you know, a few ideas or concepts will come up.
100%. I'm all for that.
Yeah. So folks, if you want to see more of that, make sure to stick around. You can subscribe. You can just come back. We'll be putting them up. And any questions, let us know.
Good stuff. See you later, guys.
Cheers.